Hello everyone, I am the Hoodoo Voodoo doll, and this video, as you can tell, is how a Mambo doing her DNA test, something along those lines. It's gonna be like my last video with the 23andMe. However, sorry, a text message. However, I wanted to do African Ancestry, but we know that's about $300. And we know from the 23andMe, if you watch my last video, that they couldn't detect the African tribes. So, Spirit led me and had me stumble across some videos where someone was doing like living DNA, and it got them, their tribe, because they had trouble too. So I said, okay, I'll try that. But then the same person also had your DNA portal, and they liked it better. And I did that also. So I went to 23andMe, got the raw data from there, uploaded it to Living DNA first. And it only took like a couple of days. It was over the weekend. Probably could have been faster. Today was Tuesday. I did it probably on a Friday or Saturday. I don't remember. But it's Tuesday now. So they probably did the Monday, did the Tuesday. Give it to me. So I did that, and then uploaded it to Living DNA. And then after I did your DNA portal, Living DNA, I paid $25 for the upgrade for results, just to make sure, you know, so it would just be like the countries or regions. It could be like more precise, which is not bad. 23andMe, I did that on sale. And then I did the your DNA portal, and I paid for the African part, because that's $30 for them to break that down. They did pick up other parts, but they don't break it down unless you pay for it. And your DNA portal has a lot of information on it. I don't know if your DNA portal has tests. I think you can just upload. I could be wrong, but your Living DNA does. Maybe I'll go back and find out. So like if you did 23andMe and they couldn't find your tribe, then I do suggest your Living DNA and your DNA portal. Which one I like better? Maybe your DNA portal, but then I do like Living DNA also. But your DNA portal has a lot of information, but there was some stuff in Living DNA that I don't think I saw in there. And also with the different things you can do with your DNA portal. But I think your Living DNA also, there's a lot of different stuff. They're both good. So now I'm satisfied with the results I have gotten. And let's get to it, because we're taking myself. I'll get to that part later. So let's go back to 23andMe. So I'm just gonna do a brief snippet. So here we're seeing that I had like Nigerian, but none of this is detected. I just went back to the scientific stuff, and then same with Ghanaian, Liberian, and stuff like that. These are my highest too. Then the same Gambian, and Ghanaian, which is like the next highest. Take note of the Nigerian and the Ghanaian. They'll be important later. So we're gonna get out of that, because last video you can look through like the other stuff. And we're gonna go to your Living DNA first. So let me pull up your Living DNA. I'm going to log back in. So I was really happy about this because, well, actually, let me say this. Even though I updated your portal DNA first, I got the Living DNA first. I got your portal DNA results first, and it both was under an hour. So your DNA was really quick. And then I think your portal was it was under an hour. They both pretty quick. Let me get the one-time passcode, and we'll get into it. They have you do like so much to get in sometimes with some of these, but it's for security reasons. So we'll do not now. So we're gonna go to the Ancestry breakdown. And they have other stuff too that you can like if you want to know about your Viking and stuff, I do have Viking from what I seen in my in my 23andMe, but it's mostly for the African ancestry, and it's really based because of like my spiritual, what I'm geared to spiritually, my calling and things like that, being a Mambo and everything. So of course we have Africa, and this broke down. I have the Akan, which is at 20% here, and that's from Ghana, so that's why I say. And then the Isan from Nigeria was the next highest, and then I also have like the Yoruba, which was the next highest. I gotta clean my screen, sorry about that. Then there's other tribes here, and then other places, and so you know, that's, you know, here and there. And if you click it, it'll take you to the area, and it has like some information and everything, which is really helpful, really nice. So I was happy with that, and I'm gonna try to make this a very quick video. Then your DNA portal. Let me see, cause I was logged in there before. Let me go back, see if it logged me out. It probably did. So let me log back in. No, actually I'm still in there. So let's go to account and view on like test. So DNA portal, it breaks it down where you can this is the African, because I did African, and it does like your ancient African, does your modern African, which we're gonna look at, and your North African, which I have some from 23andMe, but everything but Egypt, but I don't know if we picked it up here, but I did pick up some other stuff, but that's neither here and there. I just want to go to like the main results. I could go to the ancient African. So the ancient African was just talking about Vodou Niger, and you know, unless you know, it has like grids, maps and stuff, and it'll tell you a bit about that. And these are just very small. Southern Nigeria was inhabited by, you know, the Niger population, forefathers of modern Yoruba people. The Volta Niger are proposed but undemonstrated family languages, also known as West Benue, Congo, or East Kwa. Among these are the most spoken languages of Southern Nigeria, Benin, Togo, and Southeast Ghana, Yoruba, Igbo, Benin, Fon, and Iwe. And these languages have variously been placed with the Kwa or Benue Congo families, or separated from both. These boundaries between the various branches of Volta Niger are rather vague, suggesting diversification of dialect continuum rather than clear split families, which suggests close origin. And then it has like so much information, and then it's about all this other the other ethnicities that you have in you. So that was like 42.7%. in Gambian, Senegambians 18.3. Then you see some Euro exotic, which is 13.7. But since I didn't choose to pay for that breakdown, I wasn't worried about it. This, of course, South Asian, this East Asian, and some other stuff. But I'll show you later. But you can break down like different things on here. Then I also think it was on here, or maybe it was the next one, where they did some health stuff for like 23andMe, which I find very interesting. It might be on Living DNA, so I do suggest Living DNA for that, because with 23andMe, for some of the health backgrounds, I think it's like $69 for the first year, then $125 every year after that. And here I think you get a few for free, and then I think you could pay to unlock the rest, and I'm pretty sure it's not a big fee, and it's a one-time fee. And one of the free things will talk about certain deficiencies and stuff, and it's interesting because my diet that I do eat now kind of goes in hand with what they say I should incorporate into my diet more, so it's funny that I naturally already eat that way. But anyway, it goes back. So modern, we're gonna do the modern African. So all three of these you get with the African part of it that you pay for, and that was $30. And then, of course, it talks about all kinds of information there. And then here we get the main test results. Have Isan, Nigeria, which I think was in the last one too. And then Akan, Ghana, but the percentages are more. In the living DNA, let me go back. In the living DNA, the Akan was 20%, and then the Akan was the most at 20%, and the Isan was 19.6, so pretty much 20%. And then the Yoruba was 13.8. And it makes sense that only 23andMe Nigeria was the highest, because I guess I have multiple tribes in Ghana also, but I guess the percentage here is higher for Nigeria. But in your DNA portal, the Yoruba and Cameroon are neck to neck, 8 and 8%. So we know mostly that a majority Isan, even if we take out the Yoruba, mostly Isan, which is in Edo, Nigeria, which is like Benin City or the Edo state. And they are connected to the Benin people. And then we have the Akan from Ghana. And then it was connected to like the Moors and all kinds of different stuff, and the Shanti, stuff like that, because there are multiple smaller tribes. And maybe I don't feel the need to do African ancestry as much, because I'm satisfied with this. But I do know that the Akan can be broken into smaller subdivisions, like the Shanti and some of the other stuff, other sub ethnic groups within that. But and maybe the African ancestry can dig deeper into that. But like I said, that's $300 for your maternal, and then $300 for your paternal, $299. And I'm fine with knowing that majority is Isan or Edo, and the Akan from Ghana. Now, I do have to here the Cameroon Yoruba is less of a percent, it's 8% for both. When in living DNA, the Yoruba was the next highest at 13. So Isan was about 20 something percent. The Akan was about 20%. And then the Isan was 19.6, which is about 20%. So I know majority of that. Yes, I have that, and I can also do the Yoruba if I want to go by that, or I could just leave it out. But the Isan is kind of like in between the Igbo and the Yoruba tribes also. So I can see it's very likely, and that would still be part of my Nigerian heritage. So I'm really satisfied with the results here. Another thing I know, mostly from the Akan, that I found out is very likely that I will have Jamaican ancestry as well as Haitian ancestry, and my spiritual tradition is Haitian Vodou, so it makes sense. And then we have, of course, we know about the Yoruba with the Orisha, and I kind of talked about that too, and that's in my blood. I kind of knew I was an Igbo. I kind of feel like, originally I felt like with the Nigerian that I would have been close to the Yoruba, but I didn't know it would be mostly Isan. So that's really nice to know as well, because it makes sense with my spiritual practice and things like that. What else? And then of course, you know, the Jamaican and the Haitian. It's nice to know that it's very likely that I have ancestry in those areas, because this brought like a lot of things, gave so much sense. And then it talks about like the Isan. It said the Isan people are ethnic group of southern Nigeria. The Isans primarily speak the Isan language, or sometimes they pronounce it Ishan, and Edoid language related to Edo, Yoruba, Owan language, Isoko, and Niyama, and Etsako. It's considered a regionally important language in Nigeria. and it is taught in primary schools in addition to being broadcast on radio and television each time. So they talk about how there was traditionally agriculture, trade on medical practitioners, mercenaries. Just talk about all this different stuff. They talk about how the Eastern nation is believed to have been organized during the 15th century when citizens, mostly nobles and princes, left the neighboring Benin Empire for the northeast. They are, which is interesting. I watched the video, and so this kind of makes sense. But there's something more personal. Mostly of nobles and princes left the neighboring Benin Empire for the northeast. They are formed communities and kingdoms called Igaris among the Aboriginal people where they met there. They are on the whole 35 established kingdoms of Eastern line, including, and then talk about all these people. The Eastern kingdoms often warred amongst each other. Despite the wars, the Easterns kept a homogeneous culture, which chiefly influenced by the Benin Empire. However, these kingdoms were colonized along with the Benin Empire by the British Empire during September 1897, and gaining independence 63 years later in 1960 when Nigeria became independent from the British colonial rule. After independence, the Eastern people had suffered from civil war, poverty, and lack of infrastructure. Blah, 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 blah. Then talk about the Ghanaian. But yeah, so they're connected with the Benin because they left the Benin kingdom. And we know the Benin, has like the Voodoo practice and stuff like that. The Ghana, the traditional practice called, I think it was Akom, A-K-O-M, something like that. So I learned about that. I couldn't really get the name of the traditional belief system for Islam, but I've been researching about the culture, the traditions, the practices, and just by me knowing these informations and what I'm mostly made up of, helps me with my ancestral practice. So I can buy things linked to those cultures to honor my ancestors, even if I do not know their names. With the Isan, the Akan people, and Yoruba, the Haitians, Jamaicans, stuff like that. Ancestry that I did not know I have. So it opened a lot of awareness. It made a lot of sense of a lot of different things for me, and it's just gonna broaden my practice and my research and learn the cultures and things like that, and also learn about their traditional beliefs to incorporate it into my belief system, which probably won't be hard since we have 21 nations in Voodoo. I can learn about those nations of those spirits that incorporated here in this practice. And then, just learn about their belief system, maybe talk about it on this channel, things like that. So, if I want to maybe dig a little bit deeper, I could probably do African Ancestry, but I don't know if it's 100% worth it right now, because I do have, and I feel fulfilled with what I do know. So, and I'm happy with my results. So, I don't know if I'm going to pay $300 for that or not. When I paid less money and got exactly what I needed, and I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied knowing about the Isan in the Edo state in Nigeria. I'm satisfied with knowing about the Akan in Ghana. And I'm satisfied knowing that, I do have like a good percentage of Yoruba, according to the living DNA. But just the main two, I'm fine with those. I'm fine with that, and knowing that I have high chances of having, because of the Akan, having Jamaican and Haitian ancestry. So I answered a lot. And so this is my second video. I figure out what I'll name it. And if you're interested in this, if you did something, if you have the African ancestry and you learn and don't want to pay the money, I do suggest doing Living DNA in your DNA portal. You can do both or one. Living DNA, if you already did 23andMe, Ancestry.com, and if you go to their websites, both of them, they'll tell you what they accept. And you just request to download your raw data your raw DNA, and you upload it. There was another one that but I think it was more for genealogy, and it was like free, and you didn't have to pay anything. But I think there was like privacy concerns with that. I think you can opt in and out now from what my research is, because the police could win and like use your DNA to look for like cases and stuff. So I didn't do that, and plus I wasn't really looking for genealogy. So it does have a lot of different things that you can like get in addition to this. Like the living DNA was $20. They had like a free part, but if you want to dig deeper, it was $25. And then your DNA portal was we'll go to advanced ancestry. Your DNA portal was $30. Like most of this stuff is $30. So your Eurasia, and you get the Eurasia Foundation of the Modern World and Eurasia Modern Origins. That's $30. You get the Pangea. This, and each one is like $30 each section. Then you got the like all kinds of stuff. Native American, if you want to look into that. I don't think any of my tests showed Native American, so me personally, I wouldn't waste my money on that. I think they have in Neanderthal. I have very little, like it was 0%, less than 0%. So that's something I would not pay my money on for myself. Maybe later on I'll look into like the European, because I did find out they didn't show up at 23andMe. So 23andMe for the European showed United Kingdom. It showed Ireland, which I already knew about the Irish, but I didn't know. I knew we had German because people said we had German family, but it did show up at 23andMe, so I didn't think much of it. But on Living DNA, I believe it showed, yeah, Living DNA, because I didn't pay for any of the other stuff on your DNA portal, so I might see what they pulled up. It showed German and something else. I don't remember. Let me go back and see. Scotland and Ireland is England. It's Italian, Italy. I didn't know about Italian. So we have Italian as well in the family, and German. And I guess in your DNA portal, I could probably dig deeper. But this is South of German. Yeah. But I wasn't really worried about that. And then, of course, I don't think Living DNA picked up on any of the Asian, but 23andMe did, and so did your DNA portal. And I think your DNA portal picked up on some Asian that a couple different parts of Asia that 23andMe didn't pick up. So I may look into those, but it'll be at a later date, because it's mostly for the African and making sense of why I was called to this practice and certain things, you know, it just made sense for a lot of different stuff. So that's the end of this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you like things about universal principles, things about Voodoo, Hoodoo, ATRs, African traditions, because I'm probably going to incorporate more about African type of traditions, especially about the Akam and the traditional belief systems of my ancestry. And it's just really interesting that the way I practice, my personal practice, falls in line with some of their practices already. But this stuff was already kind of shown to me before I got initiated by my ancestors. So it was interesting. So I suggest you upload it if you had issues finding the tribe like I did, because some people were able to find the tribe in 23andMe and maybe Ancestry.com, and some people they were not able to trace. So those two sites were able to trace, and they both got pretty much the same thing, except for with the Yoruba, it was less on your DNA portal, and it picked up on, and it made the Cameroon kind of even with the Yoruba, but on Living DNA, it picked up mostly the Akan and Isan, just like the other one, but it put the Yoruba at a higher percentage, like 13-14%. So with that, you know, I can either leave or take the Yoruba as the main part, and just focus mostly on the Ishan and Akan, because those most definitely were the highest in both tests, and they're also in there in the top 2 in 23andMe was the Nigerian and the Ghanaian. But I feel like it's only right to add the Yoruba, only because Ishan is also in Nigeria as well, and that will just be the whole thing. And I do participate in Yoruba belief systems as well. I incorporate it and, you know, stuff like that, so in a very small way. And then of course in Voodoo we also have spirits from that tradition too, so it makes sense. So those 3 is probably going to be the main things I rep, even though I have more stuff in my DNA. Those are probably going to be the main 3, especially with the Akan and Ishan being the majority of it. So like, share, comment, subscribe. We do tarot readings here. We do all kinds of different stuff. Till next time, stay blessed. How you, Bobo?